I'd like to start by thanking President Choi, Provost Martins, Mr. Sowers, Ms. Gilbert, and to all of my fellow honorees today. It is an absolute honor to be sitting alongside here and sharing this day with you. I have been asked so many times since Prize Patrol Day when you came to visit, what was going through my mind? What is it like? What does it mean to be a Kemper Fellow? Anyone who knows me knows that was going to lead to a lot of overthinking, let's just call it reflection. And I went back to the day when now Associate Dean Linda Kratzberger asked me to consider returning to Mizzou to teach reporting and producing. It was 2010, and I was a digital news editor at the Chicago Tribune. All I had ever taught was junior achievement to a bunch of sixth graders. What could I possibly offer to the world's first and finest school of journalism? I really started to think about it, and I sat my parents down to tell them the hardest thing that I ever would have to tell you. And trust me, I've done hard. I'm that person who called off a wedding at the last minute. So they had heard hard from me before. But this was different. I remember being at the kitchen table and telling them I'd been approached to consider a job at the J School and hoped that I had their support in applying for it, even if it meant moving away. It should come as no surprise now. There were tears, there were a lot of them, but they understood because I was Mizzou made. And I don't think I have to tell you how that turned out. They're both here today, having turned heaven and earth to share in this moment with us. In fact, I don't even know if my dad remembers this, but at one of my going away parties, he told the associate managing editor of the Tribune that it could have been anyone calling. It could have been the New York Times, and I would have never left Chicago. The only place I would have ever left for was to come here. Teaching was a challenge for me. I sat dejected in Dean Kratzberger's office after my first round of teaching evals came in. I was ready to pack up and go back home. But she told me it takes time to learn how to teach, that I would recalibrate, I'd adjust my techniques to working with students. We might be running professional newsrooms, but our students are not yet professionals. It's our job to turn them into professionals. And I needed to hear that. I needed to lock in, as the kids say, and to learn what it meant to really teach. I formed deep connections with students, meeting them where they were and giving them all I had, until many of them ran laps around me. Like Charles, who I did not know would be introducing me and bringing me to tears the way he did. He was working on his master's thesis outside my office when he found out he won the Pulitzer Prize. So do that. I want you to do that math for a second, right? That's what teaching is about. Getting someone out of the gate and watching them run. Annie, Genevieve, I see you back there, no pressure. The School of Journalism is home to so many Kemper Fellows, and I thank them all for kindly signing on to my nomination and supporting me today. In addition to Dean Kratzberger, I would like to take a moment to recognize a few others. Professors Emeritus Mike McKean and Stacy Wolfel, professors turned colleagues turned friends who have provided me an example to follow going back to when I was 19. And to Associate Dean Dr. Ernest Perry, who pulled me aside 7 years ago and told me that if I was planning to make a career out of higher education, I really needed to go to grad school. That bachelor's degree wasn't gonna cut it. And so I did. And the CISLT faculty in our College of Ed, it was then just the College of Ed, now we'll give it its true name, the College of Education and Human Development. But it was there that the faculty opened my eyes to pedagogy. And now I'm that woman who writes learning objectives for fun. In all seriousness, though, that experience led me to new work in instructional design and curriculum development. And that's the context in which so many of you here today from outside of the School of Journalism you've come to know me, and the opportunities we've had to collaborate, to brainstorm, and make things better for all of Mizzou's students, I wouldn't change that for the world. There are more thank yous I want to get out, and I know that I'm running out of time, so I'm going to do this quickly. To Dean David Kerpius for always being there to support me. To Young Voles for being my cheerleader, and Keith Greenwood for being open to my madness. Kat Lucchese and Kelly Stanfield for being there down in the basement and always being open to sharing and trusting me with so much. To Brittany Hildebrand and to Joni Straub for all of your work and helping me in Journalism 1400, for helping be a part of that team. To the entire team of Journalism 1400, thank you for letting me be your leader. To Elizabeth Froge for all your help in putting together my nomination packet. To Elizabeth Morin, who challenges me daily to consider what's best for myself and what's ultimately best for our students. And to Mom and Dad, there isn't enough, a thank you big enough to express all that's in my heart right now for all of you here today. Thank you.